the path less traveled is not for the weak of heart. No one believes in you.
You're not going to get that good with other characters because I think he's such a different character.
No one believes you can go up against the best.
We're learning how good Yoshi actually is, but he's still not top tier. He's still a Yoshi.
No one believes you can win.
Man, I love aMSa, but can you see him taking a match?
But if a competitor wants to win badly enough, none of that matters.
It's happening. It's actually happening.
Even if that means turning 2 decades worth of established gameplay rules into dust.
I can't like de-entangle the concept of like how aMSa plays Melee from how you're supposed to play Yoshi. Like to me, they're one and the same.
Look at it! The down smash! It's over! He did aMSa did it! aMSa did it!
A Yoshi?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
Speaking of breaking the rules, you probably already think that you've got the best browser that $0 can buy. But let me ask you, have you tried Opera GX? It's true that they're sponsoring this video, but I tried the browser recently and I was honestly blown away by just how many dope options there are. They have this pinboard function that lets you quickly save links to pages, images, and even just raw text together for future reference. And you can even share these boards with people who aren't yet using Opera GX. And since you can set up resource limits, it's great for when you're also doing something in full screen. Like when I'm doing Savage rating in Final Fantasy XIV with my static and need to consult some strats at the same time. Those resource limits really come in handy though when I have to record some in-game footage while keeping track of the good bits in a document or pinboard. Finding a hot tab and killing it to free up some resources is keeping this old GPU happy. Plus, you can import your settings from other browsers, so you really have no reason not to give Opera GX a shot. Alright, so aMSa is one of Melee's most beloved players. He's been a part of the competitive scene for a decade, playing from Japan, one of the game's least respected regions. And this entire time, he's been playing Yoshi. If you're at all familiar with Melee's competitive meta, you'll know that Yoshi has never been top tier.
We're learning how good Yoshi actually is, but he's still not top tier. He's still a Yoshi.
And if you've looked at a Melee tier list recently, you might be thinking, well, Yoshi is a mid-tier pick, so that's like halfway there, so how bad could he really be? But the thing is, in Melee, even gaps between the top 5 characters are massive. Yoshi might be top 10, but he's actually on the absolute fringe of competitive viability. So it's not that winning with him was absolutely out of the question, it's just that it would take an enormous amount of patience, time, and effort to even get close to top 8ing a major tournament. For years, everyone agreed that Yoshi was too far outside the meta to make it, and aMSa's perseverance with the character made people start calling him the hardest working man in Melee.
Oh, there it is!
Whoa!
He found it!
And then forward, up.
Oh! What the hell? No way!
No! And
No way!
He does regular get up. He takes the stock. Are we gonna witness aMSa taking a set off of
one of the gods?
One of the gods of the game. Don't get too impatient, aMSa. Jabs.
The egg. Oh, that's it! That's it! Can we just take a second to realize that he just beat Music King Sheik on FD?
On FD with Yoshi.
Who does that?
So what exactly makes the Dino such a liability? Well, for starters, his mechanics are quite different from other Melee characters.
The skill set that you get with Yoshi is so different. And so I think for a lot of top players, if they try to mess around with Yoshi for fun, it feels very foreign and not that interesting. And on the flip side, to get really good with Yoshi, you're not going to get that good with other characters because I think he's such a different character. So I think for that reason, a lot of the top players it didn't feel worth it.
Yoshi is basically a double-edged sword. The very uniqueness that makes him strong also makes him a risky pick. For example, he has the best jump in the game, and he's one of the only characters who can double jump cancel, which gives him incredible air control and unique and powerful combo tools. But his insane jump also led to the developers not giving him a proper up B recovery move like everyone else in Melee. So his vertical recovery isn't very good, and he has a hard time getting back on stage once he's knocked off. As another example, Yoshi's shield is easily the best in the game, but once he's in it, he can't jump out, limiting his defensive options. Yoshi is just so different from the rest of Melee's cast, learning how to use him is not easy. And since the majority of players who take Melee seriously didn't want to invest all that energy into a character that wasn't going to reward their efforts, no one took a chance on figuring out how to play the poor dinosaur properly. So it should come as no surprise that for most of Melee's history, Yoshi bounced between bottom to mid tier with no chance in hell of ever winning anything of importance. But aMSa never agreed with that assessment.
Yoshi's good.
I can't like de-entangle the concept of like how aMSa plays Melee from how you're supposed to play Yoshi. Like to me, they're one and the same.
aMSa began his competitive Melee journey back in 2012, and as someone who played a ton of Nintendo games as a kid, he immediately picked Yoshi as his main.
I think that Yoshi has a potential to make it one of the top tier characters. But Yoshi's some unique skill is pretty good, I know. But no one uses Yoshi correctly. From the beginning, I'm thinking that I need to prove how Yoshi is good in Melee.
And so, determined to redeem his childhood favorite, aMSa took Yoshi on the road, placing higher than anyone thought possible against some of the best players in the world.
So that's twice.
Ledge Dash arguably won him the set versus Armada at Big House.
Oh my god, the jab reset. Oh, and the read. The read and down smash. That's it.
Wow.
That was like 10 to death. Wow.
Nice shield drop up air.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not. Oh my! But the movement, the ledge dash all the way up the ledge into the forward smash. aMSa is looking so nice right now.
I can't believe you didn't know that. Something I knew.
Oh, aMSa tag!
So insane.
aMSa tag!
What? That's not even a.
aMSa showed that the character has a lot of, or I should say that the strengths of the character were actually more unique and a bigger deal than I think we ever thought. He basically showed that actually a lot of Yoshi's strengths that we thought were impractical are actually very practical. You just have to be extremely dedicated to the character.
Eventually, the community took notice, and as the years went on, aMSa was offered sponsorships that allowed him to turn his quest for Yoshi domination into a full-time pursuit.
Whoa, okay. Flying eggs.
Oh, the jab reset. Oh my god, that's like
With the cloud. No.
for the pure of heart, but not even.
And
aMSa is looking so good in this set right now.
Yep.
My goal is not to focus on like the winning or beating someone or losing to someone. So my goal is always what the Yoshi can do for the next step.
As a Melee fan, you had to admire that kind of determination. For years, aMSa struggled just outside of top 8 at major tournaments, only to finally break in, and then fall short of victory over and over again. But he kept at it, earning as much love and devotion from the Melee community as any top-tier competitor could hope for.
There's no way these guys don't hug it out.
No, for sure.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, absolutely. And despite...
Up smash.
Good job by Mango. Oh, there goes aMSa.
aMSa with an impressive 5th place finish. aMSa placed right outside the gods.
Yeah, outside of the top 5, dude.
But then the world was hit with the COVID outbreak, and amidst travel bans and other restrictions, Japan's already flagging Melee scene became almost non-existent.
Because of the, we can't play the offline matches, and then they're losing the goals, and the Melee players are getting older and older. So they have to focus on their job. So I thought that in Japan, it's pretty difficult situation right now.
If aMSa wanted to keep fighting and going to tournaments, he would have to make a big move. So he picked up and moved to Canada. And just over a week after shifting his entire life over to a different continent, aMSa was set to compete in one of the most heavily stacked Melee tournaments ever, the Big House 10.
This isn't just a super major. This is like, to me, solidly the hardest tournament we've ever had.
aMSa's first opponent in top 64 was the 10th best player in the world, Kodorin. but aMSa was just better and beat him 3-0.
Oh, just rolls. I want to say that was a flub, but yeah. Oh, has enough time. Knows the hit stun on the egg so well.
aMSa's next match was a big one though. Hungrybox was waiting in top 24, and it was a match most people expected aMSa to lose. Hungrybox isn't just a melee god, he's also one of the biggest threats to aMSa in any bracket. Jigglypuff is a tough matchup for Yoshi, and HBox is one of the few players in the world with the patience to outlast aMSa's legendary Yoshi zoning. The two have traded blows for years, with HBox's Puff usually winning. On paper, this was the moment that aMSa should have lost, but he was determined to prove everyone wrong.
Wow, aMSa really is a beast.
Yeah. Taking a moment to just throw some eggs. And I think the best thing about egg for aMSa too is that it does a lot of damage.
But wait a minute. Out but not down.
Oh!
What?
Oh no!
What just happened? An egg stage spiked? Wow, what movement from aMSa.
Oh.
Staying away from Puff, and that's going to be again another stock lead.
It's death, like you said.
It can't be done!
It can't be done!
It's over!
5, 4,
aMSa
3,
has done it!
2, 1.
You noticed the timer at 90 seconds left, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks that this is a timeout threat.
After sending HBox down to losers, aMSa faced Sunsei, a promising up-and-comer who was having an incredible breakout tournament, taking games off some of the best players in the world with Fox. That is, until he ran into aMSa's Yoshi.
Sometimes doing nothing is doing everything, right?
Yeah.
See, those situations, like, a lot of Yoshis,
Well mapped
they
out.
can get that, but like aMSa like always gets it.
It is, but
oh yeah, I'm sure there's a god like Yoshi player here, like not other than aMSa.
aMSa can take these stocks immediately. Oh, he's aiming it. The multi-egg edge guard. The egg guard.
Yo, nice bait by aMSa.
I also gotta say, it feels like aMSa is super prepared for the transformations. Doesn't it feel like aMSa's hella prepared for the
going out there,
transformations?
yeah.
Oh my god,
And aMSa takes it 3-1 over Sotula. Man, that was some great melee.
really good man.
Yo, both of them are really good players, man.
aMSa's next set was a winners finals best of 5 against Mango, arguably the best melee player of all time. Mango was on a hot streak. He'd just come out on top of a very challenging bracket, beating 2 other tournament favorites along the way. But if aMSa could win, he'd make the grand finals of a super major playing f***ing Yoshi. Huge for aMSa, huge for Yoshi, honestly, huge for the entire community. And aMSa did not disappoint.
Okay, forward a little bit ambitious. Mango does miss the wave shine up smash. That's a tight window to get on Yoshi. The heavier you are in this game, the less hit stun you incur. Uh-oh! Tech chase.
Miss
tech.
tech trap.
Down tilt. Not good for the down smash. Oh, and no meter cancel from Mango.
This is looking like Mango's got control right now.
Oh my goodness. aMSa looking for the second place.
It turned around as quickly as I said it.
No.
He can't make it back.
He can't make it back.
As long as Fox's up B is, it's not that long, Toe.
Bobby!
He's dead. No, he's not. What was that forward smash? Is that going to have the top?
He's alive.
He lives.
There is breath in Mango's Fox yet.
My heart stopped.
Oh my goodness. Up air trades, but the second it doesn't connect, and aMSa gets it. aMSa advances to grands.
All the cute dinosaur jokes were officially over, but Mango bounced back, wiping out IBDW to challenge aMSa again. Mango is legendary for his come-from-behind wins, and aMSa was set to face Melee's most unpredictable god once more. But this time it was in the grand finals of one of the biggest, toughest tournaments in the game's history. A Yoshi against a Fox, a low tier versus the face of top tier Melee, in a battle that could change the competitive scene forever and prove that tier lists don't apply to truly exceptional players. A best of 5 that could show everyone that even after 2 decades, Melee could still surprise us. The question was, would it?
Okay, but aMSa and Mango, they want to be that one true champion.
They want to be the one.
They don't want any kind of asterisk, any kind of question marks. They are trying to be crowned the winner of the hardest tournament of all time.
And I have to say that for aMSa, I can imagine how much this means, because it's been so long that he's been fighting to get to this exact place. And I think the biggest obstacle in his path is his composure. Oh, jab reset.
Oh, that's hard to tech if you haven't seen that before. That's one of those moves that's fixed knockback. The Yoshi up throw, it's really weird to tech, and that's going to be game one.
I can't believe that aMSa turned that opening into a stock. aMSa is one stock away from like a completely dominant position in this tournament.
Yeah, this is, oh my god. Okay, great tech from Mango. And
look at the damage, Toad!
Why was he ready for that? Oh my goodness gracious, Mango's getting beat down.
He is getting beat down. aMSa is just such a problem right now. 2-0. My dream is that that there's a set 2 and it's just a slobber knocker and it goes back and forth. That's my dream right now, Toe. That's what I want to see from Big House.
The spacing, how did he even cover that angle? I'm not even sure Mango's done that angle before. Why was he ready for it?
How did he grab the ledge, by the way? What Yoshi tech was that?
Oh, aMSa just looked for the grab off of the ledge get up. Great text from Mango, I gotta say. One of the first things you look for in this matchup is like, is the Fox hitting the good text? And what a read!
And
how did he know?
That was multiple reads. And the crowd is saying, aMSa, unambiguously, open up!
Oh!
Mango's freaking out!
No,
He's off
a parry!
This is it!
No!
Look at it! Look at it!
The down smash!
It's over!
He did the
It's over!
aMSa did it! aMSa did it! The first time in history aMSa wins a Super Major, the hardest tournament we've ever seen in 22 years!
I don't believe
A Yoshi?
Yoshi, Bobby.
A Yoshi is the best of the 987 competitors.
And by the way, this is not just the first Big House he's won, it's the first major. The first major he's ever won, and it's the hardest one ever.
The Melee community's response was overwhelmingly positive.
One more stock. Yes!
This is absolutely crazy. You guys don't understand how crazy it is. Only Yoshi. Like, it's insane.
Even Mango had to begrudgingly admit that the Big House Grand Final was sick.
In the grand scheme of things, I do think it's really good for Melee that aMSa won. And I'm always down for Melee to come out on top. And I think it was a really good Grand Finals. You could even say probably the best Grand Finals of the year.
So what do you do after you've basically done the impossible and beaten not one but 2 Melee gods with a character no one believed in?
2 individuals who have a claim to the greatest of all time, but coming out above them.
It's a Yoshi.
It's a Yoshi.
For aMSa, it's business as usual. He continues to go to tournaments, playing with his favorite character. He even won another the very next week.
Good stuff to aMSa, taking his second major.
Winning a super major and
then a normal major.
And
That's
a major
right.
as Yoshi.
That's right. 2 tournaments back-to-back weekends.
Never been done with Yoshi.
Coming to North America and just saying, hey, send all your best players.
Yeah.
I'll beat them all.
That's right.
And aMSa has his sights set on even more victories in the future.
I need to fix my goal to the winning the major to the ranking #1 right now though. But yeah, I'm trying to do my best for this goal.
But at the same time, aMSa hasn't lost sight of what's truly important to him as a competitor.
I'm trying to do my best for winning, but at the same time, I'm enjoying playing the game. Not like the too much grinding and then get hurt my hand or something. I don't want to try that kind of stuff, but I want to say just I love the Melee. That's why I love the competitive thing.
It isn't just the fact that aMSa won a stacked Super Major, or that he did it with Yoshi, or even that he was the first Japanese player since 2004 to win any kind of Melee Major that matters though. It's all of those things combined that proved that this 20-year-old game hasn't been solved yet.
People talk about character diversity, but I think the cool thing is, you know, you've got these anecdotes like aMSa coming out. And even amongst this, and I think the cool thing about Melee is there's no true right way to play a character. Like, you can take any 2 players of a character, and the game is so expressive that it'll look like they're playing 2 different characters. And from that perspective, I feel like there's really this endless amount of depth. So yeah, I would absolutely say the game is going to continue to surprise people.
But most importantly, aMSa's victory shows that determination and dedication can trump even the most stringent status quo, no matter how unlikely the odds may seem. That no tier list can measure potential. That in the right hands, even a hopeless low tier can win it all. And if an unwavering Yoshi main is what it takes, we're all here for it. Playing f***ing Yoshi. Trying to build the incredulity. And aMSa did not disappoint. Here, get real close. Bring it in. He didn't disappoint, all right?